Welcome to our pod. By that, I mean on Wednesdays we read. I'm Hannah.
I'm Laura.
And we are two best friends who are doing a deep dive into a book series, one book at a time. Right now, we are shiting on the Wheel of Time, and we are finishing up our discussions on the third book in the series, The Dragon Reborn. And today, we are actually three best friends.
We have another friend.
We have another friend. It's proven, guys. It's not just the two of us hanging out all the time.
Also, our number one fan.
Yes, she is often shown on our Twitter and on Instagram. This is Ronnie Reads regularly, or as I call her, Veronica. Veronica, you want to introduce yourself?
I mean, that's all you need to know. I'm the number one fan of this podcast.
We're very happy you're here today. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey with the book series?
I read it because Hannah said she was doing a podcast on it, and that's kind of the entire impetus. No, I'm reading the series.
You've been reading along since we started.
Yes. I was told what day I had to have the first book done by Hannah, and I did that correctly. And then I started to have very strong opinions about everything with this book series, including Robert Jordan's personal life, which I refuse to Google because my headcanon is definitely better than reality.
If in my defense, so it doesn't sound like Hannah's just the bully of Laura and Hannah, which I don't know, might be accurate. But Veronica knew me before she knew Laura and kind of met Laura through the experience of us starting a podcast. Yeah. And when I told Veronica that I was starting a podcast, she goes, "Oh, interesting. I was thinking about asking you to do one with me."
So, I forgot I told you.
And then I told her the name, and she's been very supportive the entire time. But that is why she keeps being like, Hannah told me this and Hannah told me that. I don't want people to think I'm a mean person, although, I mean, jury's still out. So
Hannah gives me homework assignments every week that I have to complete, you guys. It's a lot of reading, and I'm just still not caught up.
You keep forgetting to like check in and update me on your reading progress. And it's just really inappropriate because this is how you're supposed to prove your friendship to me. So I don't know what you're doing.
I know, it's really hard.
Except most of our conversation recently has been Laura being like, "I'm already reading The Shadow Rising. Why aren't you reading The Shadow Rising?"
I know.
Yet? So yes, I am the bully in this group.
Yep.
And Veronica waited until today. I just started today. I'm 100 pages into the next book, but
yay,
we will see.
I haven't started yet.
I mean, we're judging you, but that's okay. Can we ask you really quick up the top before we dive into it? Who is your favorite and least favorite character?
Okay. I was thinking about this today, and I've realized I kind of don't know if I like any of the characters.
Interesting.
Because I thought I loved a lot of them. And now I've been thinking about what you said on most recent episodes about how a lot of the characters are more like shells that you project yourself onto. And I'm like, do these characters have personalities, or do I just really like their plot lines? Ooh. But I really like, and I'm also going to say all their names wrong. I really like Nynaeve. And I know Hannah hates her with a bloody vengeance.
I really like her too.
She's so good. And I really
Hannah just made a face like, oh, she's okay.
Well, I was the other friend that Hannah got in a fight with about Nynaeve. Yeah. So we won't get into it. But and then my least favorite, I hate Matt, but I love his storyline. I hate Elaine. I don't understand the point of her. I don't get the love for Elaine. I'm going to say all the things that you guys are too like politically neutral to say because you don't want to piss people off. I hate Elaine. When she hit Egwene, I was like, can we just have like a witch on witch fight? Can like she get burned to the ground and Egwene like take the earth up and pull her down? And she goes, no. And then there's like no one. I don't know.
These are very harsh takes.
I mean, I will say though, like, even though I feel like I lean more team Nynaeve by far, I do think that slap was so unwarranted from Elaine. Like, how random.
It made no sense.
I'm going to say and hint at as I'm 100 pages into The Shadow Rising, and Nynaeve again gets mad at people for doing the same thing she does all the time.
Oh, no, she's a hard-ass hypocrite. I think Nynaeve is a huge hypocrite, but I like the fact that at least one of the lady characters isn't just a hot lady wanting a guy. She's a hot lady who wants a guy and is a hypocrite.
At least she gets a third thing.
She gets a third thing. Like, Egwene is so aware that her whole life revolves around Rand that she screams it out as she gets out of, like, one of the little Sarangrial,
Yeah.
Terangrials, yeah.
Terangrial.
Anyways,
Tangriel.
that was a really long answer to I don't know if I have favorite characters.
No,
but I
I
have
love
a lot
that
of
answer.
least favorite.
I like that answer. Well, we will back up for a minute and do our favorite segment of the episode.
Okay.
Veronica, why don't we start with you? What are you reading, watching, and or enjoying?
Okay. I just finished 6 of Crows. It was my audiobook this week while I was cleaning my house, and I enjoyed it. And I'm in the middle of something. Okay. Those Sarah J. Maas books where all of the books are like a court of word and word.
We discussed this last week on the pod. You're like
yes.
the one who actually like stuck with the series.
Yeah.
Court of Thorns and Roses or something like that.
This one's like Mist and Fury, I think.
Okay.
I'm reading that, and I'm reading Hood Feminism.
How's Hood Feminism?
It's good. I'm trying to absorb it really slowly because I have a tendency to speed read through nonfiction, and I feel like those are like really important texts, and I want to like let it absorb. So I've just been going chapter by chapter, but I really enjoy it. Well, enjoy is the wrong word. It's hard.
Well, as it should be. I think that's not an easy book to get into. Are you watching anything good right now?
Rewatching Buffy.
Oh, that's one I've never seen before. My sister got mad at me and texted me about it when she heard about it on the podcast.
I mean, it's rare to come across a show that Hannah has not watched.
I know.
I watched season 1. I think it's good. I know what the next episode is, and it's not fun. It's not a fun episode.
What episode?
So it's holding me back. So I haven't finished season 1, I don't think, but it's the one after she and Angel like bomb go wow wow, and I know what happens after that.
That's season 2.
Oh, that's season. So I'm on season 2.
Wow means what?
Means they have sex for the first
time.
Okay.
They do the bone.
I'm just clearing that up.
And then
listeners.
Thank you for not knowing what it means, Laura. I feel like everyone.
I'm just trying to clarify that for people who are listening who may not know.
Really? Okay, actually, in your defense, there was once a story with my dad where my sister asked, "What do you call a brown chicken and a brown cow?" And my dad said, "What?" And she goes, "Brown chicken, brown cow." And Dad goes, "I don't get it." And she's like, Dad, it's like bum chicka wow wow. And he goes, "What's bon chicki wow wow?" So my dad would not have known that joke. So I'm glad you cleared it up for the.
I've cleared this up for Hannah's dad.
Yeah. For that.
Does your dad listen?
Probably not. He's discussed a lot on it.
Hi, Hannah's dad.
Thank you for that. He'll appreciate
Hannah,
it.
text him and tell him to listen specifically to this episode.
Okay, so that he can hear the joke. We always talk about that, but yes. So I know what happened. Like, if you want to jump 30 seconds for minor Buffy spoilers, I feel like Laura won't get mad at this one.
I don't care.
They have sex for the first time, and then Angel loses his soul, and he's like a monster to her, and she has to like break up with him and decide she has to kill him after losing her virginity to him. And I don't want to watch that.
It's like real intense.
Yeah. So I'm just like, and I know like there are so many like articles written about how amazing the storyline is and how interesting it is, for like the viewpoint of like young women. And I'm not prepared for it. So I haven't watched past that. But I did watch all seasons of Angel, weirdly enough. Yes. Which is like the more adult version of Buffy. Like it's more adult. So I feel like it's okay that I didn't watch the high school version of it.
A lot of people say it's better.
I've heard that it's like better written and it's a little bit darker and it deals with like more mature storylines. So I did love Angel for those who don't want to like take on Buffy. It's still a good show.
Angel's good. I love Buffy. It's been my favorite show since I was 12 and I'm making my boyfriend watch it.
Oh, that's sweet. Besides the fact that I do want to say that this is people who are fans of Buffy and Angel, not Joss Whedon, who is terrible. You guys can look up stuff on that on your own time. Okay, well, it's nice to know that you're rewatching Buffy. I should force myself to get past those episodes and keep watching, but I've just heard certain storylines that are not for me. But all right, Laura, what are you reading, watching, and or enjoying?
So I haven't been really reading anything besides The Shadow Rising. So I'll just bring up another book that I read last year. I've been doing this a lot lately, but this is a good one. The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller.
I'm meaning to read that.
Really good one. Definitely check it out if you're into Greek mythology. If you liked Circe, that was a good one too, by the same author. I think that she does a really good job at kind of picking some of these ancillary characters and stories and giving them the perspective. And I think The Song of Achilles is one that I really, really liked. And it's told from the point of view of Patroclus, I think is how you say his name. And it's great. Everybody should read it. If you like Troy, the movie, definitely
I've never seen
read
Troy
the
the
Song of
movie.
Achilles. Oh,
Either.
really?
Yeah. I had guys, listen, in high school, I had lots of girls who were into like all the Greek mythology movies that I was friends with. And there's only so many of them you can see 5 times over where you're like, I don't need to watch any of these anymore. So I think I'd hit my limit by the time I got to Troy.
Correct.
Troy does not need to be watched.
I figured, isn't that the one with Brad Pitt?
Yes.
Yeah. There was a joke when it came out, and it's still one of my favorite jokes, which is that like Diane Kruger is supposed to be the hottest woman in the world because she plays Helen of Troy. And I don't remember which comedian it was. They're like, but she's not even the hottest person in that movie because like all the other guys are more feminine and more beautiful than her. And it was Diane like Kruger. Well, Diane Kruger is gorgeous, but it's just like Orlando Bloom is like so beautiful in this movie. True. Brad Pitt is like glowing. I don't remember who else is in it, but hot people.
I always feel like it's hard when they're like, who are they going to get to play Selene in this TV series where it's like you're a bunch of around hot actors and actresses, but she must be the most beautiful woman in the world. And I understand the hot actors and actresses things works because Robert Jordan only wrote about pretty people.
Yeah.
But like, how do you differentiate one from the other? There's going to have to be like computer animation to make her more perfect almost.
Right.
They're going to do like bright eyes or something with like contacts. I don't know.
Yeah. Interesting.
Just cast Elijah Wood.
Cast.
I would love it if Elijah Wood played Selene.
I just a straight face. They never discuss the fact that it's Elijah Wood. Most beautiful woman in the world.
And he just walks around like, Matt, want to dance?
Matt, want to dance? Yeah, I liked Circe, which is also by the woman who wrote.
Madeline Miller.
Yeah. I was a big fan of that book. I need to read it. I know Laura's told me to read it a million times. It was on one of my shortlist TBRs, and then I just didn't get to it in February.
It's really good.
I know.
I think she takes the time to like look into the stories and stuff. She may be a professor if I'm remembering right.
I think you're right.
She does a really good job, and I think that the stories are just interesting because of the perspective that she takes from like the character perspective that she takes.
I would agree with all of that. I do need to read it. I am fully aware of it. Are you watching anything good right now?
I'm still in Community, guys.
That's okay.
Still in Greendale.
I watched like 4 episodes of Arrested Development recently because we just got done talking about it.
Yeah.
The show's so funny. I saw a clip from Conan O'Brien where the guy who plays Buster is on it.
Tony Hale, my favorite guy.
And he it's your favorite guy. Laura, it's your favorite guy. And he was on it. He's like talking about when he was still working on Arrested Development. And he like pitched some kind of thing where he's like, I think it'd be really funny if Buster did this. And the guy's like, yeah, you're about to lose your hand because it's going to be bitten off by a seal. And he was like, no, yours is better. And I was like, that's adorable. But that's been my falling asleep show recently because we discussed it. And we actually have one of our listeners who like listens to see if we mention Arrested Development.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were like, you didn't do it one time. And then halfway through the episode, Hannah did a chicken sound. And I was so excited.
I do think you guys need to make an Hour Pod drinking game where like you list out your common tropes. I've already started it. But
okay, can you tell us some of the things?
Well, Riverdale. It has to be Riverdale.
Riverdale has to be the free one. Yeah.
Sitcom of the week or sitcom of the book, because I feel like you guys have had a different sitcom you're obsessed with each
That's
book.
On me. That's on me.
It's like New Girl was definitely like great hunt time.
Jane the Virgin was
the first
book.
Also, Jane the Virgin is so good. Rogelio, love you.
But I love Rogelio.
Oh, and I guess the third book has been Community. It's usually the one Laura's watching at the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's on me, the sitcom thing.
It's a drinking game for a reason, Laura. You just do it, okay? I like all of those. We discuss how much we hate Matt, although that one's slowly going away.
We'll get into it, maybe.
Yeah, I apologize.
I still hate him. I think it's good to have gambling addiction visibility in a fantasy novel, but
even if they don't try to treat it at all, it's just watching a man have a gambling addiction.
I said visibility. Not well-handled visibility.
Okay, that's fair.
Hannah, what have you been reading? And then we'll get into it.
I was on vacation And last week I said I was reading Yes, Daddy by Jonathan Parks Ramage. And this book made me realize, like, I thought it was a very well done book, but it made me realize I actually hate Gothic novels. I'm not here for them. I don't like watching, like, I don't like the thriller mixed with the horror. Like, if it's going to be a thriller, I'm okay with seeing like a little bit of violence, like through the thriller mainstay. But I think horror has much more, like, it's more graphic, it's more needless. And I think Gothic mixes the two tropes in. And I like the beginning of it because that's the thriller portion. And then when it gets to the more horror portion, I'm like, this is just dramatic and I don't like it.
No, that's definitely fair.
Yeah. And so I thought the book was well done. And I have said, like, maybe I need to look up like one of the best Gothic novels of all time and like learn how to read it and how to recognize what's happening. But when it got to the horror stuff, I just wasn't here for it. And then the end, because I think sometimes Gothic novels do this, they get a little preachy to like teach you something. And like when it got to the preachy, I was like, I don't care anymore. Like I cared about some of the preachiness, but not all of it. But it was fine I still gave it 4 stars. Like I think I mean like 3.5 stars, but I rounded up because I didn't hate it. The author added me on Goodreads, so he's obviously very involved. And I gave it like a mediocre, like I gave it 4 stars with a mediocre-ish review. And I was like, so did you just see that I did 4 stars and like add that friend button? But I don't know. And then I also read, which is coming out June 1st, and Veronica's read as well because I let her like use my NetGalley. Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Oh, I haven't yet.
Oh, you haven't read it yet? Okay, well then, no, that's
but
fine.
You could talk. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I know you didn't know. I requested it from NetGalley, and I was surprised when I got it. She did Daisy Jones and the Six, and the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I'm terrible with names, and it is still like it's not the best novel you're gonna read. It was not better than
better or worse than Daisy Jones.
I would say worse. Okay. But not because it's its fault. Like I really like Daisy Jones, and I really thought I was doing something new.
So that'd be a pretty high bar to set.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of going back to like more of the same. Like she writes privileged people really well. Privileged people with like really harsh backstories who like had to go through a lot of hard stuff to get to where they are. I liked that part. It's about like siblings and this party they're throwing, and like the day of the party was like a couple days after, or like a time after the oldest sibling's husband just left her for another woman. So she's like going through that, but she's throwing the party, and it's about their lives. And they were like, and it goes between them and then their mom and dad's storyline. So it has a little bit of the like playing with timelines of Evelyn Hugo and the like Malibu, like easy breeziness of Daisy Jones and the Six. And it's really good. It's just like not the best that she's done yet. So I still recommend people who like her books. I would not say don't read those because this is perfect and beautiful. Not perfect, but it is very beautiful and well done. But it was not, don't go in being like, she just keeps raising the bar, because I don't think that's quite what this is. But
that's fair.
That is what I've been reading. And as for watching, like I said, I started on Arrested Development again. And I did watch Moxie last week, Laura.
What did you think?
I mean, I thought pretty much what I said on the pod. Like, I thought it was very good, and it's a very white feminist thing. And I think that's kind of a trend I'm seeing in movies right now. I think they're giving a lot of opportunities to women right now, but maybe not women of color.
Yeah.
And like, I think I've seen a lot of movies where it's like, it's a strong white female lead who needs to learn something, and people of color behind her who didn't have as much to learn and are just critiquing her. And sometimes I wish we had more of their stories because they're more interesting. But with that said, I thought it was very good. I don't think it's a bad movie.
Who wrote Moxie?
Amy Poehler, I think.
I thought she was a producer, but did she write it?
Oh, is it a book?
Well, no. I mean, I know I think it's just a movie, but like, I don't know who the actual writer of it is.
I was just making sure it wasn't.
She was the director.
Okay.
For
some reason, I thought she wrote it.
Screenplay by Tamara Chesna, and it is a book though. It's based on a book by Jennifer Matthew. And then Dylan Meyer was one of the screenplay people. I don't know if that is a female Dylan or a male Dylan.
Dylan with an I or Dylan with a Y?
Dylan with a Y and an A.
That's probably a guy.
I don't know. You never know.
I'll also say this is one of my favorite segments.
No, Dylan Meyer is a
IMDb
woman.
searching.
Dylan Meyer is a woman.
Oh, I eat my words.
Who may be dating Kristen Stewart right now. Based on a
Stewart?
Google search.
Kristen Stewart as Selene.
Oh God!
Now I'm into it because we've already seen her have to play the most beautiful woman in the world in Snow White and the Huntsman.
Oh, I forgot about that. I thought you were talking about Bella from
No,
I was like, Bella was just supposed to be the prettiest woman in Forks. Okay,
Bella wasn't even supposed to be the prettiest woman in Forks. She was supposed to be like super plain, but he was like, "But
so
I can't read your
plain,
brain."
Like they're kind of repulsed by her a little bit.
Yeah. They're like, weren't you supposed to be tan? Aren't you from Arizona or whatever? And she was like, oh, we're not all tan. And you're like, oh, she's not like the other girls.
I can't believe you were like, she was supposed to be the most beautiful woman. And I was like, Bella? Like, that's where my brain went.
No, I recently rewatched Snow White and the Huntsman. And I was at my mom's and she walked through the room. She's like, she's not pretty. And just kept going. Oh, Mom, she's beautiful. She's like, no.
She is beautiful. Most beautiful woman in the world. Where like Charlize Theron is like
no
sitting right next to her. It's like,
yeah.
Are you sure that you're just not confusing prettiest for younger?
Yeah. They should have honestly just had Charlize Theron play both characters, but just like put a brown wig on her because like that would have been. I mean, Charlize Theron
too late
should
to
have
submit that tip to them. I mean,
could she also play the Huntsman? Like,
we have a note. It's just a movie.
It's Snow White and the Huntsman, exactly like you had it, except Charlize Theron plays all the characters.
Guys, we have a couple notes for you. Just a few.
I mean, I would recast most Hollywood blockbusters from the early aughts with just Charlize Theron playing all characters.
Oh my God.
It'd
yeah,
be
that's
so
fair.
better.
She was also in Arrested Development and one of the greatest storylines of all time, Mr. F. Again, some things did not age well on that show.
I was not a fan of that storyline, but
no, I was joking.
I had honestly blocked it out until you just said it.
I just remember because they had like that Little England storyline.
Yeah.
So weird. Such a bizarre. Yeah.
She lived with like her uncle.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Arrested Development went to some weird places season 3.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have all of them be winners. I mean, it went into even weirder places when they rebooted it. So
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've only seen the reboot. Like, I have seen the reboot twice because I watched it once in like the way they made it and then once in the proper timeline form. And it
I feel like once I get to the reboot part, I'm like, maybe just go back to season 1.
You can write away a lot of like problematic storylines, like quote unquote nostalgia. And it's like, but should we? Like,
oh, yeah. Rewatching Buffy. There's a lot of that where I was like, ooh, Xander, you don't age well.
Yeah. Xander does not
Joss
age.
Whedon.
Xander's the worst when you rewatch it. You're just watching a man be like, well, I liked her first, so she should like me back. Excuse you?
He buys her like a bracelet in season 1, and then when she doesn't like him back, it's like, nice guy trope. No.
That's I recently rewatched John Tucker Must Die last night because I had family in town and like my little cousin had never seen it. And I was just like, oh, the Penn Badgley character does not age well because he has a crush on her. He's about to ask her out. And then his brother like swoops in and like starts dating her, you know, even if it's for fake, like that's the whole premise of the movie. And then he stops being friends with her because she's dating his brother. And then when the truth comes out, he's like, okay, I guess I can like you again. And it's just like, or just if you wanted to be a friend to this person, like, don't have that contingency of like, you must like me back or else I'm going to stop speaking to you because you're no longer, quote unquote, the girl I thought you were. That's so stupid. I hate that trope.
Agreed.
I want the Bechdel cast to do that movie.
Yes.
I think they've requested it before.
But you have.
Did they do it though? Have they done it?
I thought they did.
I think I've heard them talk about this.
Well, I know they may have talked about John Tucker. Sorry, we're on
as we all go search our podcasts.
So Laura and I have had a theory that Veronica on this podcast will be chaotic just because adding a third person to our thing will it's not popping up on their episodes.
I want to apologize ahead of time to anyone listening that I made it more chaotic
No, don't ever apologize for that. I think they've talked about it before. Like they've mentioned John Tucker must
Maybe
die,
they have, and that's
but
what I'm
they
thinking of.
haven't like watched it all the way through. They've been doing some more like pop culture favorites lately. I've noticed like they've done a little bit more. They did Crazy Stupid Love last week, and
I appreciated that episode.
I did. Oh no, I very much liked it. I also liked them doing the full Monty for Caitlin's birthday.
Yes. I also really liked Alfred Molina on Patreon.
Oh, that was Alfred Molina as Selene.
It's perfect.
He's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen.
I just like that the two movies they picked for it was Ralph Breaks the Internet and The Da Vinci Code.
Okay, I mean,
what kind
people
of chaos
voted.
went on that?
People voted. So
they've also done some really good Alfred Molinas over the
people are just chaotic on that.
Yeah.
I
still stand by their Santa Claus episodes being the best.
Their art.
Grace is amazing, and those episodes were nearly 3 hours long, but they were not long enough.
Justice for Scott Calvin. I love when they point out where they're like, as a child I was watching it, I was like, oh, Charlie's only been gone a day or two. And it's like, no, Charlie was gone for a month, people. He was abducted at Thanksgiving and he comes back at Christmas. They were missing their son for an entire month. And it's just like, oh God, that does not age well.
No.
And that's why he was arrested.
Right.
He went against child
no,
laws.
He's a good guy. He's Santa.
He's Santa. Why would you take your kid away from Santa? I don't know. He abducted him and took him to a different country? Maybe?
Not a different country, the North Pole.
Oh my God.
Different continent.
Oh, yeah, different continent. Apologies.
Because North Pole's in Antarctica, right? We're all in agreement? No?
Is it Antarctica?
Antarctica's in the south.
Never mind. I forgot how maps work.
I don't think we're all in agreement on that, but
I don't think
okay, now I'm thinking of that episode of The West Wing where they try to show them that maps are wrong. And they're
they don't try to show them that they're wrong. They try to show us that we are colonialists who only see the northern hemisphere as the most important. So, and who says that north is actually above everything. So if you flip the map, it's showing a more equal, like, researched way. And they did it. And CJ Craig goes, I don't like that. And they said, why? And she goes, because you're breaking my brain.
What's that, like the big lump of cheese episode?
It's the big cheese day.
Oh, love it. Sorry, I am making this chaotic.
It's okay. No, they recently did an episode on the Big Cheese Day on Planet Money. It's like one of their original ones, though, so I skipped it. Anywho, down that big rabbit hole, there are problematic boys in lots of early 2000 movies, which is when we were all in high school. So that did great things to our brains.
Yeah. Let's all think about our exes for a solid minute.
Oh. Well, we made it.
We can't do it that long.
I don't know. Guys, my parents taught me to respect myself, so I did not have boyfriends in high school.
Oh, I didn't either. I just
didn't
took
either.
that trauma into college.
That's fair. Mine waited until law school. Although I was recently thinking, like, oh gosh, do you remember the crushes you had on men in college? Just how bad those were?
Or the crushes in high school. Oh, I would have liked Matt, and I think that might be why I refused to ever give him any sort of like leeway.
Well, he would have asked you to dance if you were back in Emmons.
No, I would have been like the girl that was like female friend zoned, because somehow Robert Jordan's going to bring the friend zone into these books at some point, because all toxic masculinity is in there. Sorry, I have a lot of thoughts.
No, you're allowed to have a lot of thoughts. We can actually get into it.
Let's start talking about it.
Why don't you? Yeah, now we are on the last book. We're doing our like themes and wrap ups on issues and everything in between for Robert Jordan, the first 3 books. So Veronica, this is perfectly on like point.
I think we should start off though by asking Veronica, like, how desirable do you think Rand actually is?
Okay. I've listened to Hannah talk about him, the tall redhead thing, so much that it's like really hard for me to remember what my original thoughts were. But when because once you pointed out that the actor is just a brunette with red hair, it's like made me picture Rand really weirdly.
You're picturing Archie from Riverdale, aren't you?
I am. And honestly, like KJ, Appa, Kappa, Delta, whatever his name is, like I have nothing against him, but like I don't find that child attractive.
Agreed.
I mean, he's a 23-year-old boy, and like we are women in our 30s, so I'm not shocked.
Yeah.
But I do think height goes a long way sometimes. Like if you can't see them from the correct angle, you're just like, those nostrils look shapely. Maybe he's attractive. And that's where people think of Rand. Maybe he has shapely nostrils.
Okay.
I'm not sure it's that. I'm pretty sure it's just so weird. Like, no offense to the man who plays Rand. He's a very good looking boy. It's just like, it's so weird to see someone with like that defined of like, these are my cheekbones, this is my jawline, and not a freckle on me, because redheads don't have freckles, and it's like most do. Most have. You can have those sharp chiseled jawlines, but like get a man with a couple freckles or something that shows like a ginger-esque vibe. That's all I'm asking for. But we can't do that. We just dye brunette's hair red, and we're like, good enough. This is what it is.
It'll be interesting to see where they go with the rest of the Aiel men.
Yeah.
I think just cast a bunch of brunettes and buy all the red hair dye.
I wonder if they'll just lean really heavily on how tall they are.
Or they're just going to keep their heads covered because they're wearing scarves a lot. So they might not even have to. I mean, I'm interested in the Aiel women. Like, I want a book just about them. They seem cool as hell.
Right.
Jordan will never give me my dream.
No.
Which is that we just follow them.
Besides the guy who plays Matt, Rand is the only one who has like not brown eyes so far. So I wonder if they'll be like, he has the coloring and eyes of an Aiel man, and then they'll let Aiel people have whatever hair color they want.
Or they'll just do what they did for Lord of the Rings, which is like, okay, well, we can't let any women be fighters, so we're going to dress up all these women as male elves and let them do. I don't know what my point was.
No, it's okay.
I don't think Rand is hot.
Okay.
That's my not hot take.
But I mean, so many women just throw themselves at him all the time.
The thing that's unbelievable about the books, though, is the fact that like women of all ages are finding this 17-year-old so desirable that they cannot handle themselves anymore. They like see him, they're like, must be with him.
I do think that there's something to be said about like when Rand starts becoming powerful, though.
Confidence.
Because like it's, I mean, he's gonna carry himself a different way.
I feel like this is just me. You know, I'm 29 years old. I feel like I still would probably not be like super drawn to a super powerful,
right? But you're not like a high lady of a house. Like I think that they kind of there are things...
I am of lower status, but
oh my gosh, obviously not what I meant. But I was just talking about like in the world of this book, you have like high ladies of the court who are like playing this game, as Jordan says all the time. So like
just guessing though that also scullery maids would be like, ooh, Rand.
But they were like the maids at the inns were also like, I'd tap that. Like everyone wanted him.
Yeah. Well, I just
Princesses,
think that
like Elaine, scullery maids.
But I mean, also, Elaine clearly had just grown up in captivity, and that was the first guy that wasn't a soldier or one of her brothers that are virtually indecipherable. I don't know which one's which.
One is bad and one is not bad, according to Elaine.
I remember the one with a Y, like Elaine's name is the good one. He's the good one. Gawain. He is similarly named to Elaine.
Galad is bad.
Galad is like...
Or Galad, whatever.
Yeah.
Wasn't Galad the name of like the hero in Arthurian legend or something? Like,
I believe so, yeah.
So, Jordan, what you doing?
I think he wants people to... I think Jordan tries to do like a bait and switch, even though like all the characters are in the book are like, don't trust that guy. But Jordan's like, but he has a good name and he's so charming.
But they also like say, don't trust Moraine. And Moraine's like, yo, I'm chill.
Well, but... Yeah, well, they also, like, who's saying don't trust Moraine, though?
My Lord and Savior, Nynaeve.
Yeah, it's not everyone.
Also Matt.
Well, Matt. But, like, most of the time it's, like, Perrin and Rand being like, I just don't want you to control my life, Moraine. And she's like, okay, but guess what? I'm going to control your life. Like,
she's those like, hold on. I've got really good puppet strings going. Let me play a little more.
Except she's a really bad puppet master. It's like, she's Rand, terrible. Listen to me more. And then it's like, Rand left. Like, it's not actually good at it.
True. But Rand's just not hot. But like every woman thinks he's hot. So like, is it just that people aren't traveling a lot, so they see someone with a different complexion and they're like, ooh, exotic?
I mean,
well, Laura and I just talked about
this.
this.
We just talked about this.
Really?
Yeah, because she asked me about my red hair. Because she said
pretty.
that's the point. Lots of strangers will often tell me that, like, oh my God, I really like your hair. Is that your natural hair color? And like when I was younger, like now it does not happen because I'm an adult, but between the ages of like 5 to like even I want to say 18, people would touch my hair and ask me if it was like natural. And I remember I always had this joke to my friends where I'm like, why do they keep touching it? Like, what, can you feel it? Like, ooh, I can feel the hair dye. I know it's not real now. But there was this like weird thing about redheads where people feel the need. Like, I also like when I was out at bars in college, men would be like, I have a really big thing for redheads. And I'm just like, there's one of me in here. Could you not like,
please walk away now.
Please go away. Don't ever say that to a woman. Like,
do you remember that terrible show on MTV Next where like they'd have people in a bus walking around on a date?
Yes.
There was one episode, and I don't know why this is burned in my brain, where like, no, I'm thinking of Date My Mom. There was an episode of Date My Mom where the girl,
same thing.
Yeah. The girl's mom like refused to say what color hair her daughter had because her daughter like didn't want to be like singled out for it, and it was red hair. And he's like, what is it, like purple? Is it green? And it was like a solid like 5 minutes of the episode was him being like, well, why won't you say her hair color? Anyways, back to your story.
No, but I do think that there's a little bit of like Aiel men. They are like these weird hunters out in the desert, and they're so like light and mysterious, which is also like a choice. You decided to have Aiel men be desert dwellers when they're redheads, but like,
right.
I do think that there was probably a little bit of exoticism going on. I'm not sure Jordan was adept enough to do that on purpose. Like, I think he just wanted Rand to be hot and that to be it. And now we're reading it, asking these questions and trying to make it make sense.
Do you feel somewhat seen by the fact that like the redhead is the hottest person in this entire world?
No.
Like, do you feel like, ooh?
I feel like that's a common trope in things that
I feel like redheaded women are always hot.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
in books.
Fair. People are often like antagonized by hot redheaded men. But no, I mean, I don't care because Laura's right. But they never get redheads like, it's never my type of redhead, like the Merida
gorgeous,
type of redhead.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you for that. But you're obviously a friend of mine and very biased, but like lots of freckles, burns easy, like crazy red hair. It's always like, and like deep, dark red hair. It's usually like, she has auburn hair and alabaster skin that not a freckle ever laid upon. And you're pretty much just describing like any other hot woman. She just happens to have auburn hair, and it always has to be auburn. Like,
we don't know. I mean, Robert Jordan could have left out some of the scenes where like the Aiel men are putting on sunscreen, but
I'm just wondering if maybe all of them can secretly channel, but the only way they're using it is sun protection. Like maybe all ailmen
they're healing
are
themselves. They're healing themselves.
They're just like SPF makers.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he just made it a fantasy choice that like the people don't burn unless they get tan, because he has described women as tan.
Yeah, he has said tan before.
He has. Ugh.
I'm pretty sure just burns don't exist unless it's like, yeah, I just don't think burns exist. I think this is just a land where everyone tans or is just pale because that's what their people do. I don't know. It's a weird choice, but no, I do not feel seen by a hot redhead because people just don't.
Fate the Winx saga.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who is the hottest character in this book? Like, actually, like, I think if you were in this book series, that would be the person you'd be like, okay, you hot.
Lan.
Lan's probably hot as hell.
I think Lan's hot as hell.
Or Perrin?
I think Perrin
to me
I feel
reads
weird
like,
saying that because he's a boy. He's a little boy. Like,
I don't think Perrin reads as attractive, even though Moraine and him have this like lying tension between them now.
Veronica is very much on board with Hannah's like weird. I think they make a good couple, guys. Like,
okay,
I just think it would be a good couple.
That scene when he like walked in and she's like, I don't know, like she was like in her, like, I don't know. I pictured her in like a negligee sitting there like, Perrin, you are attractive. Like I was like expecting there to just be like some like music comes under like brown chicken, round cow. Suddenly has a pizza he's delivering.
Well, if Robert Jordan was like thinking about this, he would have Moraine say something about, I thought about myself wearing a see-through dress, but it's like, come on.
We don't get Moraine's perspective other than when she's like playing with her ring at the end of the first book.
Let's hope that comes along. I mean, there are 13 books. The Siege is never going to have Moraine's perspective. I don't think so because I'm 100 pages into the next book and I have some news flashes for people next week, but we will save that for now.
Oh, I got to read.
Land's probably Perrin. The hottest one.
I do read Perrin as actually kind of hot, but in like the
subtle,
the rugby player way. He's a rugby player hot. He's not like, I think Land is just objectively hot, but I think it's like Perrin. It's like
Perrin's probably got like the manly, like gruff thing going on.
Yeah,
now.
I think
now he's really hairy and everybody's noticing.
I've been picturing Perrin wrong.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I like pictured him as like kind of like the dopey, funny guy and every
really.
That's what I pictured Matt.
That's a Matt take for me.
See, I pictured Matt as like this scrawny little guy who's like, I do pranks because I have no upper body strength. Look at me, I'm gonna do something weird.
Again, I'm looking at the cast of Wheel of Time, and Perrin is very much rugby player, and Matt is very.
Oh no, the guy who plays Matt is very attractive.
Oh, see, that's not my type.
Oh well,
my type is Perrin.
I just like the idea that maybe like
Matt has a baby face. Laura and I know what we're talking about. Yeah. We used to tell our friend that she only liked men with baby faces, and then she was like, "I can't unsee it, guys."
I mean, Matt should have a baby face, though. He is a child emotionally.
He's a man baby.
He is a man baby. He is the most toxic man in this book series. Just like. I wish I could steal a kiss from her. I wish I could take her dancing.
It's not stealing a kiss. It's assault. I'm sorry. You have to steal affection. It's assault. Anyways.
Matt is toxic masculinity distilled into one person. I like what he does for the plot because he again works against it, but he's not Nynaeve working against it where she's just screaming at people for doing the exact same thing she does. But Matt is.
It's one of those things where it's okay if she does it, but it's wrong if other people do, Hannah. That's what it is.
It's the most annoying take in the world. It's not different. It's toxic.
No, they're all toxic.
Oh, they are all toxic.
It makes me very scared for who Robert Jordan has friends. Because if this is what he sees humans as, everyone's toxic.
Well, they're all his wife.
Well, all the women are his wife, but I assumed all the guys were just him with different hair colors.
I literally think Robert Jordan thinks he's Perrin. That's my take.
Yeah.
Also, okay. I was curious if there was any symbolism in the fact that it's a hawk and a falcon that our Perrin's lady loves. And I looked it up and I just Googled falcon, hawk, wolf. And apparently wolves like to kill falcons. In real life, wolves kill falcons.
Describes Fayle. Sorry. That describes Fayle and Perrin's relationships to a T.
I mean, sometimes I get very annoyed with her to that point where I'm like, Perrin, do something.
Just murder her? That's what you're asking for?
I did have a question. Because
murder her already.
I re-listened to your plot episode today because I wanted to make sure that I remembered which book was which, since the Great Hunt kind of nothing happened, but a lot happened. And when Faline, fake name, Zyle, Doodoo, whatever her name is, Serene, when she's first introduced and she's in one of the many inns, did anyone else think it was supposed to be Selene at first?
No,
I didn't get that because immediately someone would have been like, the most beautiful woman we've ever seen appeared.
Perrin had already dreamed about Selene, so he would have recognized her. And it was supposed to be but it was also supposed to be someone obviously their age. And I've always seen Selene as someone who's older. Nynaeve's age. I always saw her as a little older.
I always saw her as ageless because she's fake Aes Sedai.
I mean, all the Aes Sedai.
I guess I'm picturing her Moraine-ish age, where it's
thought she was 40?
I don't think that Moraine is that old, but maybe I don't
we've
know. I don't know
discussed
how old
this.
she
Rosamund
is.
Pike is 40, so
I thought we said like we thought she was 30, but I guess we could agree on 40. But I don't
that's
know.
pretty much where we came to.
I thought they were like 60, but they stopped aging at 27.
I mean,
well, you just described a plot point in my book, but
really,
yeah,
sweet.
I have everyone stop aging at like age something or other. So,
like that movie In Time with Justin Timberlake, where his mom is played by that other beautiful woman.
Well, now you just destroyed the plot of my novel. So
sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm obviously joking. Just so everyone knows, Veronica is also wearing the Bird Bones sweatshirt, a la episode 3 of our podcast.
Body be banging.
Body be banging.
I did have another question. I'm on here to interview you guys.
Okay.
Laura, you hate Varen, it sounds like.
Okay, I don't hate her.
Good.
But I think she is so suspicious. Like, she is not to be trusted, and she keeps appearing, and like, especially with that whole thing with that ring that she gave Egwene, and the lack of notes that she handed over to her. I'm like, why are we still listening to her?
How is that any different than Moraine?
Because I know more about Moraine. That's the difference. I've been around Moraine more. I've traveled all the way from Emmonsfield with her, and I have more trust. I just do not trust Varen.
Okay, so when you said that don't be suspicious, all I could hear was the Parks and Rec.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Okay, but if Varen is evil, then Robert Jordan has totally showed his hand, because she's the only not skinny woman. And if the only not skinny woman is also evil, then he's also like against everyone.
You're arguing that Robert Jordan is fatphobic, which
I think he is fatphobic.
This is a book written in the 90s, so
I mean, I
don't have high hopes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go out on a limb. Varen is evil. That's my take.
I want Varen to be like the secret hero. Like, she's like super nerdy. It's
not gonna go to a woman, sweetie.
No. The secret hero is probably someone that we would never suspect, like Rand.
Guys, I want to rewrite these books and like fix their heteronormativity, fix romance. That's honestly the plot. So the other
day, I was just Googling fantasy book series that feature women, because I was like, you know what? It'd be kind of interesting to do another book series that features women or whatever. And I was for our next season, and The Wheel of Time often comes up in like one of the best fantasy book series featuring women. I'm like, okay, but the problem I have with it is that it's a male savior. So even in this book series where women are treated, quote unquote, so well, the only thing that we learn is that the only person who can save all the world is not a woman, but a man. One man.
Well, I mean, we've discussed that at length. We're like, oh yes, it's so progressive because the women are the people in charge, except when they're not in charge because they're being saved by this one man who can save all the women. Like it's platitudes because he didn't want to write a female character saving the world. So,
and I mean, also it's just like evident in the fact that Rand is more powerful than multiple Aes Sedai, and I don't know. I just.
Veronica, do you have any theories for what's going to like come up with the book series?
I mean,
will Loyal ever get a bed that he fits in?
Okay, here's the thing. I think there's going to be a fun subplot where Loyal sings himself a bed. Because as I've joked about in our text chains, Loyal clearly is like going to be like the future Green Min dude. I think.
Okay.
Not
I would
clearly.
love that ending for him.
I would love that, but also like I want him to have like an internal dialogue where he's like, I wrote this book. I want to publish this book, but that needs paper. And I don't want to hurt trees. And like and that's like that's his reason why he can never publish his book, is because it would hurt what he loves most.
Half of book 14 is Loyal trying to decide. Except like this is olden day. He's already writing the book on parchment. Like it's already being done. He's not thinking of the ramifications on anything.
But like he's already bought that parchment. So like it's not like that can go back to being a tree. But if he publishes a book that's like becoming big pharma of trees. I don't know. No, but
I love this journey for you. I love this journey.
Yeah, I love Loyal. I do love Loyal. I think he's never going to be given what he deserves. I agree with some things that have been said in the past on here. I want to see what happens with Lanfear and Selene woman, because I don't understand her journey.
Well, I mean, she was Luz Theron's former lover.
Yeah, he killed her, right? That was like the first chapter, the first book was like him over her body.
No, he met another woman, because she talks about this in this book series. He had met, I forget his wife's name, but he fell in love with his wife and he married her. So he didn't kill Lanfear. He like found someone else that he liked better and got rid of Lanfear.
Oh, that makes Lanfear so much more of just like a 90s dude's trope.
Yeah, like she was kind of left, and now this is her second chance, which is why she's always like, I had him before that other woman took him, and this is my second chance, and da 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 da.
Okay, well, my actual predictions are like, I no longer think Rand is going to end up with Elaine. I changed my mind on that because I kind of think Rand is going to end up with Min, and this is more of like a dream. So Min has been ruined by Robert Jordan. I will say that. However, the more I think about it, the more and more I like the idea of like the chosen one's chosen lady. Oh, can't believe I said that. Being like a non-femme person. Because I think him ending up with like pretty princess would be like boring. And I do think overall, although some stuff is very poorly written, like the romance, the plot itself, I do really, really like. So I'm going to put all of my hopes and dreams into the end point of that storyline to be like they channel together to like save the world. I don't know. Min's cool, but underwritten.
I will refrain from answering because I actually know kind of what happens because spoilers on accident, but
that's why
I'm
can't
on our
Google
Twitter.
This book.
Yeah, you can't Google the book because like
don't
spoilers
Google.
happen. Let me do it
still
for
on
you.
The Rand is going to end up with Elaine thing, but just because I think Robert Jordan's going to be basic about it.
Or is he going to go super Messiah narrative and Rand just dies?
No,
Rand can't die.
He won't.
Well, if he dies, then he's reborn and the Ouroboros occurs.
You know what I could think of happening? Rand like saves Saidar. Saidar, is that his? No,
cleanses it.
Cleanses Sidene. He cleanses Sidene, and through it, they think he's lost all of his power to channel. He can still feel it, but he cannot channel. And then the end of the book happens with one of those things where it's like ends on a question on if he can channel or not. I could see Robert Jordan get behind that. I doubt that'll happen, but I would like that into the story.
Well, okay, awkward question. Robert Jordan passed away before finishing the book series, right?
Correct.
He also gave extensive notes.
Yeah.
Like he had a huge outline that he gave to Brandon Sanderson that said how the book was supposed to go. And Brandon Sanderson helped with the last 2 or 3 novels. We're very well versed in this, but he knew what was going to happen. And he, like Brandon Sanderson, was always a huge Robert Jordan fan. So like he also kind of modeled his writing after him. Like he really enjoys him. So he was able to write in the tone of Jordan.
Okay. I think at the end of this book series, Perrin's going to become a blacksmith again. I'm trying to think of like what character. So here's the problem. There's where I want characters to end up, and then there's where I think this author is going to finish the series.
Yeah.
So I'm going more with like, I would love it if Perrin got to be a blacksmith because he clearly gets a lot of joy and satisfaction out of it. Right. And I don't love that he's losing that. I also think Matt is secretly channeling, and at some point he's going to like full on hate himself.
Oh my God. I love that idea. Well, because, I don't think it'll happen, but I'm into it.
In the first book, they talk about the side effects of the first couple of times you channel. And they're like, sometimes you get really sick. Sometimes you get like giddy, crazy, like woohoo. And that's clearly what was happening to Rand in Eye of the World. Right. But whenever Matt was gambling, he would like go into like, oh my God, 10 hours have passed and I've been having the best time. And oh my God, I'm covered in money. So like either it is the Dark One's own luck, which I think is more likely what's happening, or he's been channeling because he hates, like, okay, Rand has the worst friends. Both Perrin and Matt are like, he can do magic, oh, we can't be his friend. Do we even know him? It's like, dude, chill. Like, he's still the kid you grew up with. And maybe this is why he keeps running away. It's because none of his friends care enough about him. Like, they had terrible friendships. Like, they just abandoned each other the second anything changed about themselves.
They're terrible to each other at
They're
every
awful.
line of they're just like, I can't be friends with him anymore. He's gonna go crazy. And it's just like, oh, okay. And I understand, like, in the world of this book, that's all they know. Men go crazy when they channel. But also, he's been thrown on this awful ride, and they're both like, I can't be there for him. And it's just like, okay, like, that's not true.
So it's a worthy punishment for Matt if he, because Perrin has come around, and I feel like in this book, in Dragon Reborn, there was a couple times where he's like, oh my God, this is probably how Rand felt. That's awful. Like, I feel like Perrin kind of realized he had been a dick. Yeah. Matt is so not self-aware. Like,
oh, no.
As Laura likes to say, oh, I would like to dance with her at Esker in Edmonds Fields. Like, he does not get it. And I think it would be a fitting punishment if he somehow was accidentally channeling and had to deal with that.
I literally don't think these men will ever get punished. Like, outside of like Aes Sedai giving them a hard time, these men will not get punished for anything.
Oh no, I'm going to full on fall into this book series, show up and be like, it's time for some knowledge, bitch. I'm going to lock them down. I'm gonna be like, let's talk about feminism and not the way that Robert Jordan thinks. This is very girl power feminism. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Egwene totally going to be Amlin's seat lady. That's going to happen.
I'm okay with that journey for her. I just hate that she'll have to have romance and have it all, quote unquote, like, in the white female feminism type thing.
I think Morghese is going to go through some shit because she's clearly like aware that she needs to get out of where she's at, because she like made that statement to Matt to give to Elaine about liking being in the chambers where they're all beaten. So like, she seems to be like aware that she's trapped and trying to use coded language. I think that's going to end terribly for her. I didn't know I had this many theories. Lanfear at some point is going to be naked again, because that seems to be like her life journey.
Lots of women get naked in the series. I'm going to have that theory as well. Just lots of women. It's going to be women. There's going to be lots of breast discussion and maybe even a taut stomach or two from the novels I read growing up. Yes.
Moraine, they're going to...
Sorry, do we think Elida is a dark friend?
Yes.
Yes.
I actually don't think she's a dark friend.
Oh, I think she is.
You think she's like just pure red Aja, but not a dark friend?
And I think it will lead her into dark paths, because I think sometimes if you're purely in your camp and you think you're right no matter what, that I think that can lead you to ruin or lead you to the dark side, but I don't think she's there yet.
But I don't know if Jordan is good enough with subtlety to write that.
But he's almost too obtuse with Elida. Like, it's almost too blatant. Like, it's like, how could she not be a dark friend? And I could see him trying to use that as the one subterfuge he has.
Okay. I'd like it if that was what happened. I think that's more interesting.
Like, I think with her, it might be the road to hell is paved with good intentions. That's kind of my theory on her.
But what about the fact that Elida's the one who, in Egwene's vision...
That's the only issue I'm having with my theory.
That's
the only
why
one
I think
where I'm
she's
like,
a dark friend.
But don't you think, like, Egwene would be arguing about that point a little bit more? You know?
I think there was a lot of things that happen in the... How do you say it?
Tangrial.
Whatever. That happened in there that nobody wants to talk about, that they feel uncomfortable talking about. So the fact that she saw that, I think she probably doesn't want to bring it up, because she's like, maybe that's going to happen or not. I don't know if this is true. Am I just...
But that's what I'm saying. Maybe she's not a dark friend yet. Like, that was supposed to be the future. So maybe it's this, like, we're about to watch her go to the dark side.
Could be. Yeah.
Maybe. I do wish that we got a scene where I also want to know what Elaine's were. Like, she's the only one of the three girls that we didn't get to see hers. And honestly, Egwene's were interesting. Nynaeve's were very interesting to me. I liked the fact that Egwene was aware enough to be like, why is everything about Rand? Because I think I either made an Instagram post about it during one of my rants before she ended up saying that, or I said it to one of you. I don't know. But we never saw Elaine's, and with Elaine having Elaine has so much potential and just it's wasted. Like she has so much knowledge of the world. She's like has all this interesting backstory and we know none of it. I don't see it getting better because apparently like this was supposed to be like a great Elaine book. And I'm like, she slapped someone who doesn't deserve it.
A queen did not deserve to be slapped.
No. And if a queen was going to get slapped, Nynaeve should have been
Nynaeve. Yeah.
Yeah, she should have, because she has no problem standing up for herself. She punches other people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I could see Nynaeve slapping a queen and that being like a very big moment where they could grow in their relationship.
Yes.
Where like Nynaeve realizes she went too far because she's putting too much pressure on what their relationship used to be like. And a queen's like, you're holding on to something that's dead. And it's obvious from what you just did to me that you have little to no respect for me. And I could see their relationship growing that way. Unfortunately, Robert Jordan gave that to Elaine to slap a girl who didn't deserve it.
Third party makes way more sense.
Honestly, like I need a scene. I need that scene. I need a scene where the three girls sit down and talk about their experiences and like, oh, this was what my history was. Like, I know it's very personal, but like, if people just communicated in this book series, it would be a 5-book series, not 13. Like half of the book is dream sequences, a third of the book is ends, and the rest is miscommunication. Like
half of our jokes was the first book was what if we told Moraine? The second book was what if we asked questions? And this third book is like, hey, what if we discussed how disgruntled we are together? Because like so many people are disgruntled.
And the overarching one is like, maybe we should put romance to the back burner till after the world's not over. Like, stop flirting and save the world, or like bang it out so you stop thinking about it and move on.
They're not
like
gonna bang it out.
If everyone just had like a big orgy in the first book, they'd stop worrying about all this stuff.
I like that you want it to be an orgy and not just people having sex.
Because I don't want to read 17 different love scenes that are the exact same because he probably only knew how to have sex once.
Well, like Veronica, I think we need to read some of that fan fiction of yours.
I mean, I'm not saying that some of the fan fiction I was writing in our group chat wasn't artistic in nature, but my loyal one was good. I was pretty proud.
That was very funny.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I had more predictions than I thought.
Maybe I'll post some of Veronica's fan fiction to our Twitter.
Definitely do.
Apologies in advance for the explicitness.
Maybe I will just turn my Instagram because every so often I just go on rants about these books, like how Tom's girlfriend got fridged, but like
she got fridged.
Yeah, she got fridged so hard. Like fridges aren't even in this book series. Like someone walked by that and went, "I'm going to develop a fridge." Like that is exactly what happened. But maybe I'll just start writing fan fiction or rewrite the scenes the way I think they should have been written.
Laura, do you have any like themes or things that you think might happen in the next book that you think we haven't talked about yet?
This is so hard for me because I'm already like so far in the 4th book.
This is why we're probably getting rid of these episodes.
I'm just it's difficult to say.
Veronica, we loved your take on it. You have not read the next one. Do you see anything changing that like you have guessed in the past?
Anything changing? I think that we're like, as far as like wanting more out of the Aielman, that we're getting some cool things there. I think cool things will happen with that. I'm sticking to Rand and Elaine being a thing. I would like to see more men, but better. And I feel like Perrin and Fael, that's that's the best. That's all I have for that.
They're just so boring. They're the most boring couple who ever boringed, and I'm not interested.
Is Hawk Girl better?
Hawk Girl, I don't know, but
Berlin.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything.
Really no, she also gave her a weighted sigh.
Yeah.
That's fun. I don't think Perrin will have good love interests because Perrin, I think Perrin is such a steadfast person. Whoever you're putting with Perrin has to be chaotic in their own way. And the chaos has to come from somewhere. It's not going to come from Perrin. It's going to come from his love interest, and that's going to make us not like his love interest because we like Perrin. We like a steadfast character. So why?
I would love it if Perrin just went into the woods, met up with that other wolf guy, and they just had a lovely little commune. Where they got
what if Elias
hairy.
and Perrin fell in love? Wouldn't that be beautiful?
I'd love that.
I would love that. I mean, this was written in the 90s, so it wasn't going to happen, but I would have loved that storyline. This is called
Guys,
when
let's
Hannah just put
replay.
Perrin with other people she likes in the novel series.
No one wants him with Fail.
No one's asking for Fael. Give him a nice love interest with Maureen if she were a little bit younger, or with Elias, like one of the two. I'm happy with that.
I don't hate Fael, Fufu, whatever her name is.
Well, we will
as
now
much
be
as you
referring to
guys
her
do.
as Fufu.
So I just think Fufu is another character that could have been interesting, but instead they made her whole plot about a guy. Like, I don't want to know why a girl who's probably...
No, I was gonna let you finish, but I was gonna say that like I don't have a problem with Fufu other than I find her boring, and the romance is a little bit dead on arrival for me. Like I think her character, I have no, like up to this book, I have no opinion of her. Moving forward,
what do we know
like,
besides
there's
that
nothing.
She just has a crush on Perrin and likes to pick on him because she has a crush on him. That's all we know.
Let's hear about why a rich girl. I think she's rich based on her name. It sounded like she was rich.
Yeah, kind
like
of.
some rich girl some rich girl was like, who's young, decided I'm going to go hunt the horn. Like that's an interesting story. And instead she's like, but hot guy open cage. Goodbye life choices.
Hot guy open cage. Goodbye life choice. Well, that's not how I fall in love with the man I marry. I just don't want to be in love anymore, guys. No, that's all I want to happen is hot guy open cage. Now I love.
I Falcon. He no believe in cage. Tarzan Jane. We love.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I know. I'm always right.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Nynaeve stand. Excuse you.
Love Nynaeve.
All I'm saying is Nynaeve, well, again, it goes back to what Veronica said. All of these characters are toxic. It's which toxic character you can find some common ground with. My poison was not
It's
Nynaeve.
Literally pick your poison.
It is pick your poison. My poison was not Nynaeve. I understand why you guys like her, and I'm happy she exists for that type of toxic person. My toxic person is definitely a
poison was Rand, right? Oh.
Yes. Oh. No, it was
I like Egwene.
I love Egwene. My toxic person is Egwene. She is toxic. She does a lot of the same stuff Nynaeve does. It just gets bad at Nynaeve when she's not allowing her to be like that. She also has way too many interests in boys. She also just is a little, she's a little much sometimes. That's still my poison,
What if she started a polyamorous cult instead of
with
the
brothers
seat? Yes, where she's got
so
the
great
brothers.
That you guys keep asking for that. These are brothers. Both you and Laura have now asked for a polyamorous relationship with two brothers.
Well, the brothers don't have to be together.
I just think it'll happen.
It's going to happen. She's at some point going to bang both of them. Not at the same time, but this is very much like an Elena, Damon, Stefan thing.
I hate those storylines so much. You guys have no idea.
I don't like a love triangle in general, but for some reason, they love to set them up with brothers.
Yeah. I hate when brothers get pitted against brothers. It's the grossest thing. It's just which one of us gets to bang this woman? Sometimes both of us do. I don't know. Brown chicken, brown cow.
No, I think she's going to do that. I think at some point Matt's like, can I join? And they're all like, no.
No. Nobody wants Matt there except for women who have lowered their standards to the basement.
I think Tom's last words, because he seems to be dying, Tom's last words to Matt are going to be get emotional intelligence. And then he just dies.
No, because I don't know. Tom barely has emotional intelligence. It's why do I feel this need to save this man? I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with my nephew. Don't want to go down that dark hole.
He's but I will go down this dark hole and date this younger woman. Oh, she's dead. Not going to go down that dark hole. Sorry, I interrupted.
No. Do we have anything left to say?
Well, you didn't say your predictions.
I feel weird having them just because I have seen so many spoilers. I don't know how they end, but I know enough spoilers to kind of ruin it for people. So I don't want to do that. But I will say, guys, this is likely going to be the last themes and wrap up episode we have. Yeah. We think for the time being, at least with this series, we're going to split the plot into 2 different episodes. Mm-hmm. We enjoy this random easygoing episode, and maybe if there's 5 weeks in a month, we may add it on at the end if we see fit, but it's just the plot in this book has gotten so much that we're spending so much time with Hannah, me, trying to get through the plot that we're not like riffing on it. We're not having as much fun talking about it. And we don't want to lose that aspect of the show because it's kind of our favorite thing to do is like make fun of the plot if you guys haven't noticed enough. So with that said, we will be covering the first half of book 4. So you only have to get through about like 26 chapters and 450 pages as opposed to like 990 pages of the mass market book version. May be wrong with the other versions, but we will start doing that. And so next week we'll be covering the first half of The Shadow Rising. Like Laura said, do your homework. And please remember to rate, review, and subscribe. Rating, reviewing, and subscribing is very helpful to get our voices out to other people. I'm sure Veronica has already done her homework on this because she is our #1 fan. And make sure to follow us on social medias. We are on Twitter, Instagram, and Gmail. You just have to email owwrpod@gmail.com or follow us at owwrpod at all social platforms. We hope you enjoyed this talk. Veronica, we'd like to thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
You're welcome back anytime.
You are definitely welcome back anytime. It may just be one of the like men or women episodes, which is actually a ton of fun as well.
Oh my God. I want to yell about these men.
and specifically Matt episode.
Of course.
Oh my God.
We will do like a specific
Veronica.
Matt episode for Veronica.
Just do like Matt's corner and it's just me going, why? Why?
Just why? Just why?
Why?
This is a stunning depiction of addiction with no help whatsoever. But we want to thank you all for listening and have a great rest of your week. Bye.
Bye.